Hi there, today we're talking about the greatest gold book ever, which is not actually my new book on the history of gold, the glittering history, legacy and future of gold, and you'll find a link in the on the video, but it's actually, the Orphic book, made out of gold, weighs about 100 grams or 3 ounces, just over 3 ounces, made by the Etruscans. I'm talking about, I think it has pictographs in there basically talking about religious ceremony. So maybe not one for Richard Dawkins to leaf through. Anyway, my book, The Glittering Legacy and History of Gold, Precious Metal, and of course its future, that's now available on Kindle and a range of other platforms, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, Scribd, Rakuten, a whole heap of them. And in there, I try to talk about the history of gold, starting with the creation of the gold atom itself in the two neutron stars hitting each other, that cosmic event called the kilonova, not supernova, kilonova, because it's so powerful, all the way through to how gold has affected humans and other metals as well, because gold has brought copper and silver in its wake with it as well. The three Olympic metals, you might call them: gold, silver, and the copper alloy bronze. And copper was so useful that they actually used it to make the pyramids. The pyramids, great pyramids, built out of stone, obviously made out of stone, but made with copper tooling. That's what made the pyramids. So there's a lot of history. It's a short book, under 100 pages, but I'm really trying to plug the holes in people's knowledge of gold with this book by talking about its effect on humans and other metals like copper and silver. Certainly it's been my experience for over 30 years. This is an aspect I've been researching and working in the gold industry for more than 30 years. After talking about the effect on the ancients, all the way through to King Solomon's mines, King Solomon the Great, the wise of the first temple Jewish state, and how he fixed up the copper mines of Timnah and did well for himself and the Jewish state and the Edomites, whose mine they belonged to. We also go through the history of the Etruscans, who, as I say, created the Orphic book, which is made out of gold, and the Romans, through the time of the Etruscans, then the fledgling, short-lived Roman Republic, and then, of course, the Roman Empire after that, kicked off with basically Augustus, and covering off the ancient classical age, I suppose, and then moving into the medieval age, when a lot of obviously medieval Europe, a lot of gold came from South America, gold and silver, but also from Austria, from Schwarz, from 1400 onwards, for about 200 years, was I think one of the largest producers, if not the largest producer of copper and silver, from the skarn mineralization there at Schwarz in Austria. So that's very interesting. And then moving through the South America, Cortez, moving through to the 1600s, and how gold became more used in commerce. And then, of course, Isaac Newton's fateful gold-silver ratio error in 1717, which accidentally created the gold standard. Very, very interesting. And the mining, and then throughout the 1700s, 1800s, and the use of the gold standard, which of course was closed off by Richard Nixon. And then basically I tried to talk about a number of interesting ventures, anything from the Staffordshire hoard of gold and what that might be linked to in Norse saga, and also about interesting ventures, thefts of gold, including one from Blenheim Palace recently, 100 kilos, and then also the rediscovery of the royal cache of mummies at Deir al-Bahari. Ramesses the Great, Ramesses II was one of those. So basically going through a whole lot of those interesting finds, discoveries, the great hoards and caches of gold that still exist today, anywhere from the Americas, India, all over the world, actually, and new areas of exploration that are still open, many of which are in the southern hemisphere, in Australia and New Zealand, and also basically the future and why things look the way they do in terms of gold and its history. So please tap on the link. Also email me at andrew@keops.au. That's andrew@keops.au. I'd be keen to hear from you. And yes, please buy the book, have a look at it, and you can learn about the greatest gold book of all time, which is the Orphic book by the Etruscans. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.